Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Monday, August 5th through Sunday, the 11th of 2019. All right, so in this video, we're going to look at this for the week. I am going to be traveling this week, so we'll look at this same as we would at the dailies, but all in one video. And then when I get back on Monday, we'll get back to the dailies as usual. All right, so let's take a look at the general week, and then we'll look at this in detail. The most important stuff we have going on is with the Sun and Venus, who are very close to each other, who are going to be trining Jupiter. So Jupiter, the planet of expansion, of possibilities, of potentials, gets this very nice synergy with our self-expression, the things we're focused on, and maybe our relationships and enjoyments in life. This will be around the early to middle part of the week. Then once we get to the weekend, Jupiter, that same planet, is going to be going station direct. And in this case, anything that's been over the past maybe 5 months on the back burner involving opportunities or inspirations, those types of stuff really starts to move forward. Uranus goes retrograde at the end of the week as well, so maybe starting to reflect on what we can have for a little bit more freedom in our life and individual self-expression, and maybe things that are about our future ideals we may want to rethink or rework. And then Venus gets very close to the Sun as we get into next week, really bringing some awareness and maybe some new beginnings involving our relationships and values. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here is the sky. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting with Monday, August 5th. And we're also going to look at the important aspects that we do have going on this week. Again, the most important stuff are these trines to Jupiter, which we'll talk about, and then also some planets, Jupiter and Uranus changing direction. So again, we are using the actual size of the constellations called true Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link down below for more information because this does change the signs from mainstream astrology. All right, so coming into the week on Monday, no major aspects on that day in particular, but the moon will still be in Virgo, as was the case on Sunday the 4th. So Virgo is all about pragmatism. Both actually Monday and Tuesday are really good days for doing the work, right? What requires work, what requires self-discipline, our improvement nature, what can be improved in our life, refined. Virgo is always good for personal development, diet, our routines, our work, things like this. Really good to get into that structural side of ourselves with the moon here. Now, once we do get into Tuesday, with the moon here, we will start to feel the Sun trining up to Jupiter going into Wednesday. So the Sun represents usually what we're focused on. And in this case, getting a trine to Jupiter can really bring in a bit of free-spiritedness, maybe a bit of adventurousness, starting to expand our horizons a bit. So this could be, depending on our personal charts, maybe some opportunities coming in for the days, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe some opportunities that have already been reworking with Jupiter retrograde, or it could just be things we're open-minded about, then we start to shift perspective with, and then may see other opportunities or inspirations. But most fundamentally, it is just a really good time to get into that more expansive side of ourselves. So good to do this maybe through abstract thoughts like philosophy, spirituality, right? These kinds of things, higher knowledge, higher wisdom, but even physically as well. So adventurousness, a bit of free-spiritedness, right? This kind of stuff can be great those 2 days. Now, once we do get into Wednesday, the Sun is going to be closer to Leo, and we'll start to notice the middle to later part of the week, the Sun shifting into fiery Leo. So we are going to start to have a little bit less of this watery energy that we've been feeling these past few weeks. Cancer has been about connecting to our soul, our roots, creating a protective environment for ourselves and others, getting into that caring and nurturing side for ourselves and others, which is still in the mix because this will take some time for the transition. Plus Mercury is only building momentum now since his recent retrograde, and he's still in Cancer. So still a bit of that, but as the week unfolds, probably noticing more fire energy. All right, so Sun in Leo is invigorated here. It's in domicile. So in this case, maybe feeling free to express ourselves, maybe wanting some fun, some creativity, right? This kind of passion energy, really the source of our life force and prana for over the next month or so with the sun transiting Leo here. All right, so that's going to be a shift probably Wednesday, Thursday we'll start to feel. Now, on Wednesday, we do have the moon in balancing Libra. So by Wednesday time, we'll come out of that more earthy energy of Virgo and go into a little bit more of matters around balance. So great day, Wednesday and Thursday actually, for finding balance in our life. There could be themes on relationships, what's mutual, what's fair, what's just, right? These kinds of themes. And this side of ourself that is striving towards fairness and mutuality, really good to cultivate there Wednesday and Thursday. So once we do get into Thursday, speaking of relationships and things, Venus does trine up to Jupiter. So again, that same kind of expansive energy, but in this case with our values, our relationships, and our enjoyments. So it could be a really good day here for this. We could just be a little bit more open in our relationships. Again, maybe a bit adventurous, maybe wanting to talk about abstract things like philosophy and things, and possibly, again, relationships are certainly possible in terms of opportunities there. New ones, existing ones, just get this kind of boost of fire energy. And there is definitely going to be, more of this, like I said, increase of fire energy as we get through the week, because once we do get to Friday, that's when Venus starts to enter Leo. So going into the weekend, and again, for the next month or so, in this case, we could be enjoying the self-expression, enjoying the fun, the creativity, the playfulness, the lightheartedness in our relationships and just in life in general. So definitely that shift by the time we get to the weekend of a lot of this fiery energy. Plus, again, we do have Mars already in Leo, which means we can be very direct and very assertive and even get things done in this way that is, again, passionate, creative, playful, expressive, etc. All right, so that's Friday there with Venus getting closer to Leo. Also on Friday, while there's this fiery shift, there's probably a little bit more water energy coming in for particularly Friday and Saturday, because we are going to have the moon in deep Scorpio and Ophiuchus those 2 days. So as a backdrop to those days, could be good for healing, could be good for being aware of the deeper dimensions of life, uncovering the truth, both for ourselves and just in general, right? And accepting the truth, accepting the deeper aspects of life, because it is through that acceptance that we do heal and we do transform. And it's a great couple days there, Friday and Saturday, to do just that. All right, and then once we get to Sunday, the end of the week here, this is where we do have those stations. We have Jupiter going station direct and Uranus going retrograde. So in this sense, the moon will be shifting into expansive Sagittarius when we get to Sunday. So there will be themes around expanding those horizons and shifts of our perspective. And especially with Jupiter going direct, Jupiter is very much associated with that. We may start to notice going into next week that if there has been anything that you've been regarding opportunities that maybe you've put on the back burner or have just not been so prominent in your life the past 4 months roughly, but were prior to that, that could be starting to shift. So we may start to notice shifts of opportunities, shifts of inspirations, shifts of perspectives. And again, this also leads to that kind of fiery energy. So do give it some time, but that kind of opportunistic and inspiring stuff in life begins to take form in the outer realms, whereas a lot of it's been on the back burner for about the past 4 months or so. All right, and then more minor to this, because we usually don't feel it as much, Uranus going retrograde. Going into next week, there could be, now going into the back burner, matters relating freedom and individuality, individual self-expression, maybe our future ideals. So it goes through this reworking process, and for Uranus, it's about 6 months. So slowly going into next week, what are some things we can reconsider, rework, redo, involving bringing in more freedom into our life, more individuality, and what can we rethink regarding our future ideals, all right, or the future in general, or the collective, right? These very progressive things start to go through this reworking process with Uranus there. And we'll probably notice a bit of this Venus getting very close to the sun They'll conjoin early next week. And this could, again, bring extra emphasis on relating. So a lot of this kind of relating energy here this week, along with this fire energy shift. So in this sense, yeah, there could be maybe some passion, some deep wants and needs regarding relationships, because the sun kind of brings in that fire energy into the Venus things, but we may not be seeing it as clearly. And that's the analogy of combustion, which is if we were to look at the sky, we wouldn't see Venus. So the sun's taking the dominant force, which is just about the passion, self-expression. So we do want to bring in that extra attention to relating. How are we relating? What's fair? What's mutual? What's reciprocating? Right? And in that way, then it becomes more conscious, more healthy, more balanced. But as a result of this, again, mostly next week, there'll likely be a new beginning involving some awareness regarding our values or relationships. All right, everyone. So that is the week in a nutshell. Hope you all have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all when I return for the daily video. Take care.